The first time that someone with a cancer came to see me, folks, they came with their family. And I remember that event to this day because I think the conversation that we had opened up a whole new avenue for a lot of people in the room. So this was the mother of the family. She was quite young, relatively. I think late 30s to early 40s. Came with the family, and they had, I think, 2 girls and a boy. And so quite young family, teenagers, as you'd expect, and one actually quite a young boy as well. So they've lived quite happily, and things have been going just fine for them until one day they realized that the mother's got a cancer. So she'd fainted one day, they'd rushed her to the hospital, and that's how they'd found out. Now for some of you, some of these stories you might be able to relate to. So anyhow, this family, they came to see me, and you can expect that the family they were in tears. So as they speak into the Swaminatha, they're saying, Swaminatha, this was a complete shock for all of us. We didn't expect anything of this sort. And our mother has been diagnosed, and they can't even spit the word out. It's one of those things, right? When, you really struggle to deal with that. So you don't even want to say the word out, it brings a tear to your eye. Sometimes it can be quite a shocker for people. So I said, fine. Now you're all here because you feel that she's counting her last days and she's in a very difficult place. You feel sorry for her, right? So that's why you're here. And you're worried that she's going to die very soon and you're going to lose her as a result of that. I said, fine. Let's do a little bit of an activity. So I asked them to bring me a piece of paper and a pen. And I passed it around the room. So they'd come with some of their friends as well. So there were about 10 or 15 people in the room. And I said, in this piece of paper, on the left-hand side column, write down numbers from 1 to 15, because there were 15 people in the room. And I said, when the paper comes into your hand, write down the order in which you are going to die. Does that make sense? So imagine I gave you a piece of paper starting with this good lady here and pass it down all the way to the back of the room with the number of people in the audience, and I say, write down your name next to the number which represents your order in which you're going to die. How far do you think it went around the room? How far do you think it went? It stopped. It didn't go any further than the first person. Because they took the piece of paper, pencil in hand, scratching their head, wondering, where do I put my name? So I said, let me help you. Let me make this easier, right? We know who's going to be first, surely. Right? You brought your mother with you, who's got the cancer, and you're telling me that she's going to be dying soon, so that's why you're here. You feel sorry for her. You want her to listen to the Dhamma, right? That's why they brought her. They want her to listen to the Dhamma, so that she can heal herself spiritually. They'd never come to the temple before, but they brought their ailing mother. So because they want me to preach to the mother, not to them, they're fine. They want me to preach to the mother. So I said, fine, so let's put her name as number 1, and then the rest of you can follow, can't you? And then again, there's a moment of silence. I asked, why? What's the problem? But Swaminatha, we can't really say that it's going to be her going first, can we? I said, oh, really? But isn't that why you brought her here today? Is it not because she's got the cancer and she's going to be the first to go? Are you not so confident about that? Isn't that why you brought her here and you want me to preach to her? And then they all said, we get the point, Swaminatha, we get the point. We all think that it's going to happen to somebody else. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, answer this question for me, will you? When you cross the street, right? How many times have you risked your life? But have you never seen someone make the wrong decision? And then an oncoming vehicle, right? It crashes into them, and then that was the end of their story. How many times have we seen this, but yet we feel that it's not going to happen to us? When you go to a funeral, sometimes it might be to a young person's funeral. Maybe they're not very elderly. Perhaps in the middle of the, middle-aged people. Maybe even quite young people. You look at them and you say what? Sin, no? I've heard people say this. Ayo, sin, no? This young boy? How youthful? What a shame that he has to go so soon. And then what do? At the end of that, after the funeral, we have our meal, and then we, have a chit chat with the rest of the family. And when we come home, and when we just forget about that, and just carry on with life. But in that moment, right, it is a shocker for you. How so? People so young, this can happen to. And you begin to wonder, might it? Nah, not to me. We all seem to have this sense of false confidence when it concerns ourselves. I can't stop life taking over you, but I can help you to deal with life. Right? If you've already come to the party, I can't stop the drinks. I can't stop what's going to happen. But I can help you deal with it, so that no Mara can come and take your happiness away from you. Right? Come, it may death, disease and decay. I can't stop any of that for you, but I can help you fortify your mind and strengthen yourselves, so that in the face of any adversity, you can become unshakable. That I give you as a promise.